Anybody have any questions or anything? So give us a few minutes to dry. Somebody ask a question. Good. Ask me how long that one piece needs to be. 23.5 inches. Okay.
This is for $100.
Yeah, I mean, but part of that $100 is, you know, if you scrounge to find a window and scrounge to find a door and stuff like that. One of the biggest costs for me on this was the plastic. I mean, you can only buy the plastic. It's 20 foot wide and 100 foot long. And it's $100 for that roll. And you're only going to use it for a 10 foot one. You're going to use 20 feet. And so you're going to end up with a lot of extra plastic. Now, if somebody really is serious about building one of these, I'll sell them some plastic so I can make up some of my $100 that I've already spent.
But it'll last about 3 years. Well, depending on if a limb falls on it or whatever.
Well, yeah.
So what we try to encourage people to do is to look for the wood around your house, look for the screen door, look for a used maybe box fan for a window. And it's not necessary that you go out and buy those items because you often see them laying on the road, or you may have them around your house, or that kind of thing. So those kinds of things help to bring the cost down. As well, that additional feet of the plastic, we encourage people, if you do tend to buy that 100-foot roll, then look at it as an investment for the future. When after that 3 years or so are over, or if something happens, a limb falls on it, that you've already got your next 2 times again. If you store it properly. And then again, with what we also encourage is that you use, if it does happen to break or tear, you can use duct tape, or you can use a greenhouse tape as well over those areas. So you're not needing to put a new, fresh look on there if you don't want to.
Everybody signs a list, maybe we could share a 100-foot roll instead of...
That's true too. That's
What
true
gauge
too.
plastic is it?
6 mil.
6 mil?
It's a 6 mil plastic. Yeah.
Got a question for you now. Is there a difference between the green plastic or the clear plastic work better?
Well, the green plastic I've never really seen like a. You mean a green color? Or?
Yeah, greenish color. I see like on the greenhouses they got some of this colored plastic. They say it's supposed to hold heat better in the winter.
I don't know. I can't answer that. I know they make a plastic that has some UV inhibitors in it that's made for greenhouses, which would last considerably longer, but is also considerably more money. I mean, if you're doing this and you think you're going to have it up, 5 or 10 years, you may want to look at, getting the plastic that does have the UV resistant, chemistry in it, and that way it will last longer.
It all comes back to you or whoever's building it and what
Right,
they want to do.
right. You can do upgrades. There's, I'll tell you 1 or 2 things that would make it a little sturdier and stuff after you get it done. But each one of those things you do adds a little cost. But I live in Texas, and I've raised cactus and succulents. And in Dallas during the winter, it's cold and it's wet, and they can't handle that. So I actually have 3 greenhouses in my backyard. I wish I would have known about these because I would have done it this way, because it's considerably cheaper than what anything I've done. And and I take my plants all out during the summer because it's too hot. And this would make it really easy just to uncover it, and I just put new plastic on it every winter. Okay, this should be dry enough. Okay, now what you want to do is out towards you're going to put this between your 2 2x4s, and I'm going to have to go this way some. So glue again. Another thing that Trevor Hylton did, this is his design, and he's normally here to do that. We put and I'll do it here in a second, put a drywall screw at these joints here so they don't pull out. And I've noticed this over the last couple of years. I don't know if they've changed the cement to make it more environmentally friendly, but it doesn't seem to hold as well as it used to. So you'll see there's drywall screws up there, and I'm going to put a couple in this also. And it would be a good idea to do it because once you start lifting it up, when we did this one the other day, actually one of the pipes did pop out. So we put you can see how this is like that. You have the joints here, then you'd also have 10 footers running that way. do is go to the end 2x4. You'll need a drill gun, or need a screw gun, and then also a drill bit. First piece of pipe, you want to put it at the end of your 2x4. Basically just drill 2 holes in it, one through the thick part of the PVC and then one right above it. You do that all the way along for all 5 pieces that you have. Okay, then once you have all of them drilled, you take your 2x4, the very end one, you just line it up with the end of the 2x4. This should go pretty much at the bottom of it. Then you just screw it down. If you do this one and do the one at the other end, then you'll end up being more square. Mark. You want to line up with the 2-foot pencil marks that you drew earlier. Then you do the same thing, all along this side, and then you have the exact same thing on this side going that way, and you screw it in the exact same way on the other side. Go along, screw everything in along both sides. Which is basically where we're at right here. We've got everything screwed in. I do tell you one thing. Before you put on the very last piece, you start off with a T, and you're going to end up with a T. Before you put this last T in, there's a 1/2-inch piece of EMT that's in the parts list. That's where that 1/2-inch piece of EMT goes. You need to slide it into here before you put the last T. Now this one's, I'm not sure how far, but yeah, when you put it in, when you're making it, this will just disappear inside. But what that does, it gives you your rigidity all across the top of the frame. If not, it's just going to groove down. So don't forget to put that in. I mean, if you do forget, you can always cut it and put a joint in or something like that. But you want to make sure you put that 1/2-inch EMT in. Okay. So this is where I got this. I glued my T at the end. I put my EMT in there. So this is rigid here. The main thing is just if you can get a couple people just to stand and make sure the thing don't flop around. Just grab it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so get that. Can you see it?
Awesome.
More the better around here for this thing. Okay, once you get it up so far.
Great.
Okay,
Magic moment.
you've got your 2. These are 10 foot because all the material is going to be 10 foot. So these are 2 10-foot 2x4s here. They're part of And do you remember the blocks that we put on there earlier? What you're going to do is you're going to screw into those blocks.
Actually, you don't need all this. You and I did it ourselves.
Yeah, you can do it by yourself. The more people you have, the easier it is to do it. You have to anchor these to the ground to keep the wind from blowing. You can. Trevor, we asked him that same question earlier, and he said his has been through some very high winds, and most it ever did was move it 2 feet.
What you're gonna do is take the plastic and you could put soil on it, bury it in the ground, and it's gonna hold it in place.
Okay.
And if you needed to tie it down somewhere, you could do that.